there. I thought this would be a little easier to just have one place to overview on your Module 1 project on the Excel part. Okay, so this is only the Excel part. You have to do the interpretation and all the other parts. But how to find the mean, median, mode, mid-range, range, variance, standard deviation for a data set. So I have some data here. It's actually Des Bryant, Dallas Cowboys, hey, his rushing yards. So I want to find his average rushing yards, see if there's a median, mode, all that good stuff. So everything in Excel, you start with an equal sign, okay, because you want Excel to calculate this for you. I could probably make this a little bit bigger. That might help. Of course, on the video, I can zoom in too. So there's a little bigger. So equal, it's just Excel doesn't have a mean. It has average, which is what the mean means. Get it? And open a parentheses and highlight the data that you want to average and close the parentheses. So you know how to take an average, right? You take all those values, you add them all up, and you divide by the number of values. I ain't going to do it because Excel's going to do it for me. Isn't that beautiful? Hit enter. Bam! There's my average. There's my mean. Median. So let's put the actual function over here. So we have that there. The median equals, guess what? Median. All right. Open a parentheses. Highlight those. Close the parentheses. I'm like, I wonder if I typed that. Did he get hurt? Oh, no, that's it. Hi, I'm okay now. I'm like, why is that number so low? That's so far this year. All right, so the median, I hit enter. So it looks to be 862 if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So apparently it had to average the two values. So that's median. And I'm going to go ahead and type. The next one is going to be the mode. So equals mode. Open a parentheses, click and drag. You see I'm doing the same thing over and over. Start with an equal sign, type your function, open a parentheses, enter your data, close the parentheses. What happened? Oh, there is no mode. There's nothing repeated. If I change this 796 to 212, watch, oh, check that out. But let's put it back. So there's just no mode. Mid-range, if you remember, the mid-range is you actually add the max plus the min and then divide by 2. So if I do that, I'm just going to do it with my actual formulas, which there is a max and there is a min. So I'm going to go equals. I'm going to open a parentheses because I want it to add the max and the min first. Max, my function, put my data, close my parentheses. If I close the parentheses, it just gives me the max value. Plus the minimum value. Open my parentheses, put my data, close the parentheses to add all this together. Remember, please, excuse my dear Aunt Sally, please do the parentheses first. So it's going to do that first. And then it's going to divide /, that's down on the last row, by 2. And bam, there's the mid-range. The range is just simply the max minus the min. So in other words, the range of your data from the lower end to the upper end equals max. Open a parentheses, highlight your data, close the parentheses, minus the min. Open a parentheses, highlight your data, close the parentheses. Bam! Variance, VAR, oops. And you're going to see the standard deviation is STDEV. So variance equals VAR. Open a parentheses, highlight my data, close the parentheses. There's, woo, that big number. All right, and then standard deviation. Remember, the variance is in squared units, so we don't really like, I mean, it still shows the spread of the data, but in squared units. We like the standard deviation better. So now I highlight my data, I close my parentheses. Now, some of you might be going, but hey, in the video, you did this one with the A. it really doesn't matter as long as you don't do the dot P, because that's for a population. If you look, it might be kind of hard to see, but these have little, we call those things exclamation, caution signs, which just says these are old functions, but they still work. And I highlight my data and I close my parentheses, so whether you put the A on it or not, and I press enter and I get my values. Now, some things you might like to know if you're on the home, you could highlight these and change, like maybe I don't want so many decimal places, especially these, right? Those have a lot. So I clicked and dragged to highlight those two. And I'm like, yeah, 2 decimal places is probably good enough. And so here, this is kind of interesting, such a high standard deviation. Well, one, I think this season he got hurt, but here we're putting this year, and they've only played, what, 3 games? And so that's why this spread is so large. So notice, what if he gets, what's that, 212? Let's say he gets 1,300 yards. Notice that standard deviation went down. This one's still pulling it as well, so let's put 1,300 in here. Notice my standard deviation gets smaller as my values kind of get closer together. And that's the whole idea of the standard deviation, is it kind of talks about the spread. But my whole point of this is for you to see these formulas, and I'm actually going to show them. So if you wanted to pause this, screenshot it, whatever, look at this. This shows you everything that I typed in to get these values, which should help you with your Module 1 project. All right, that's it. So happy projecting, right? Have fun. Please remember I'm here, though, if you have any questions to ask along the way. See you online.